Καλημέρα σας, μας πιάσατε στο φαγητό.
Τι κάνετε?
Όλα καλά, προετοιμαζόμαστε.
How beautiful. Everything fresh. Just cut this morning really, or maybe last night. Σας κινηματογραφώ εγώ,
Με την ησυχία σου.
Και εμένα δεν με έβαλες μέσα.
Και εσάς μέσα.
Και...
These are the Jewish gentlemen that they're growing the farm here, and you have a very good relationship. Look at the beautiful zucchinis.
Και εδώ η μαύρη ντομαντούλα της Βραώνας. Από τις καλύτερες ντομάτες της χώρας.
And this is like the pink tomato of Vraona, one of the best in the country really. The smell of it, if you cut one, and the taste of it is unbelievable.
Μετάφραση.
And these are the regular ones we're gonna buy now. And today we're gonna make stuffed peppers and stuffed tomatoes. So let's get started with the ingredients for this recipe. I'm using 5 peppers and 3 tomatoes that I'm going to empty. I'm using 3 potatoes and a kind of rice that we call Carolina in Greece, and it's good for fillings and soups, but you can use a rice-rich starch. I'm using half a cup of raisins, 1 tomato that I'm going to shred later to put it extra in the sauce, 1 teaspoon of tomato paste, 2 onions and 2 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of pine nuts, 1 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, some leaves of spearmint, and I use spearmint, you can use mint, I have it in a pot, and have a bunch of parsley and of course a lot of olive oil. First we're going to start by cutting our peppers. I'm cutting the top part off to make a lid, sort of a lid, and I take the inside of the pepper out, which are the seeds, of course we don't need that, we throw that away, and empty the pepper. That's all really we have to do, and put it aside. I'll show you another one, just cutting the top part off. And taking the inside out. Of course, you need to rinse it. I'm going to rinse them a bit later on because of the seeds. We don't want any of the seeds to be inside. And just put it aside. And I'll show you 1 tomato. We also cut the top part of the tomato off. I try not to go all the way to the end to keep it intact, but it's okay. If it gets ripped off, it doesn't matter. And then I take a small spoon and take the inside part out, just going all around as carefully as we can in order not to rip off the outside part of the tomato. And we don't throw that away, we put it in a bowl because we're going to use it in our filling. We're going to put it in a food processor, smash it and make a sauce, a tomato sauce that's going to be the juice needed for our rice to get cooked in. I try not to go all the way to the end of the tomato because we need to have some flesh in order for our tomatoes to be cooked. See how it is? Emptied and fine. I have chopped 1½ onions and 1½ garlic, which I'm going to saute a little bit, because I want my onion and my garlic to be mild in taste in my filling. But this is a part of the recipe that if you want you may not do. If you put your onion and garlic in the food processor and have it like pureed, you can put it like that without cooking it first, that means. But I like it to be like this, cooked a little bit in pieces. So I let it saute a little bit. I put my onions first and then the garlic, because I don't want it to get burnt. It gets a bit bitter if it does. I let it saute a little bit, not too much, a few minutes really, in medium to high heat on the stove. as soon as it's ready, I let it cool a little bit before I put it in my sauce. You see here I have shredded the whole tomato and all the inside part of the 3 tomatoes that I emptied, and I put it in the food processor, and now I'm gonna be mixing all my ingredients. Then I have chopped the parsley and the mint, the spearmint, and I'm going to put it all in my filling. The smell of it, it's incredible at the time while cutting it and putting it in. It's so fresh. It's dried up a little bit, so I'm using my fingers just a bit. I mix it up with the rest, and then I'm adding the raisins, pepper, salt, pine nuts. I could have used some more, but I didn't have any really, so you can use, if you want to, a little more or not at all, it's up to you. And now as for the rice, I'm counting 2 tablespoons for each vegetable that I'm going to fill up. But actually, for me, I'm putting a little more because I like to have some leftover to cook it separately and make a nice side dish for the next day. We mix our rice with the rest of the ingredients really well, and at this point we add the olive oil. We need quite a bit of olive oil there. I'm eyeballing it at this point, it just goes according to experience, but I would say that it shouldn't be anything less than 4 to 5 tablespoons. We mix our filling really well and see whether it's juicy enough. If you see that it is a bit dry, you may add a little bit of water, like half a cup of water, because we need it to be quite liquid, because this is where our rice is going to cook. So now we're ready to fill up our vegetables. I put 2 to 3 tablespoons in each vegetable, and a little bit of juice, of course, for the rice. I don't fill it up all the way to the top, you see. I leave some space because the rice is going to expand, and I keep on doing the rest like that. When my veggies are all filled up, I add the potatoes that I've cut in smaller pieces, and I season them with a little bit of salt and pepper, and that you should use according to your own taste. And then the remaining of my onion, half the onion and half the clove of garlic, I've chopped it also and I put it on top of my potatoes for some extra taste. The half tomato that I have shredded, I'm putting it aside in a bowl, and the tomato paste I dilute it with a little bit of water, mix it with the shredded tomato, and this is going to be the sauce that I'm going to use for the potatoes. Just pour a little bit of water in my bowl and put it in. It's always needed. Not too much, see, just a little bit. And finally, I'm going to put plenty of olive oil on top of everything. The potatoes, the peppers, and the tomatoes. It's quite a bit of olive oil. I know you think that 10 tablespoons it's a lot. But this food is called ladera, which in Greek means with olive oil. it's because there is no meat in there and the olive oil is needed for them to get cooked. I cover them with foil to prevent them from burning, and I'll take it off 10 minutes before the end, and I cook it for 45 to 60 minutes at 200 degrees. It took an hour for my Gemista to get cooked. I tasted in between. Look at this little tomato. It got ruined, but still we're going to eat it, no problem. And this is the final product. So let's put a serving. In Greece, we add a nice piece of feta cheese next to our Gemista, and all the lavera really, and a nice piece of bread. So I tasted my potatoes at the moment. They were really delicious. And let me open up the tomato to show you the inside. It's beautiful. The rice has cooked nicely. I tasted it and it was really yummy. I hope you'll try it for yourselves. If you like this recipe, please share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to get notified on new uploads, and I hope to see you in another video. Until next time, happy cooking και καλή σας όρεξη. Bye bye everyone!